No, he got up and gone out in the sun again. You see, we cut his big tree down. So now I had to move him. July the 7th. This is July the 13th. There's, there's the bridge, Diane. You had suggested calling this place Green Acres. Oh, there's the sign. The clematis is just beautiful for only the second year. That's the blueberry bushes is covered. They're just loaded. We got Paul had a lady at church make these signs. Let me come in real close. Got one on the other side. So going across or coming back, it's the same thing. There's a better. The clematis are just beautiful. Got the white and purple mix. This one's going clear over. This is the other side, entering from the big field. I want to come in close on this. Look at that. Sure is pretty. This is looking from down the bridge up at my umbrella. New York Market umbrella that Paul got me. So I got flowers in my swan, and I got me a tub. I got the vining geraniums there. Then I got the English daisies I want to show you up close. Up around my new tree. The autumn blaze. Replaced the old pine tree with this. Like I said, the blueberries are just loaded. Probably be as much as 60 or 70 quarts picked off of these this year. I have to give some away. They're my 2 new holly trees. They'll need trim soon. Aren't they pretty? They take a female and a male now and mix it so you have the red berries. I was taking the wrong thing. That's a Pacific spruce there. There's my holly tree, my new one. And over here's the other one. And I'll show you the one I found in the woods. It's just beautiful. Now this is my clematis on the clothesline. Now it's going the other way now, but was it ever beautiful? See, it's starting to droop and go the other way. Now this is my new perennial flower bed. Everything I got in here comes every year. It's about time. I had one of those white lilies that tinged in, like you were saying, like tinged in gold and a burgundy, and it smelled real good. Now here's my pink ones coming. And the yellow ones, I never seen anything last as long. As these did. Oh, I got my daisies. Now here's this English daisy that blooms constantly from the time it starts until frost. I've got quite a few of these because I thought they were very, very unique. To get something to bloom this long. And I got one up there. And then here comes another pink lily. This is the bird feeder that Pat's friend made him last Christmas. I've got it all treated. I'm feeding the birds on the ground now for now. There's my hummingbird flower pot. Flower bed. Really, the valleys across the front. I finally got them. I just love them. I got a row clear across the front. My hanging basket is kind of dark. I'm taking this morning. Real early. Seem to like this. Now these will come every year. I've been trying my best to get all perennials. Aren't they pretty? They only get prettier. There's my wishing well. I've got the non-stop begonias in there because they bloom all summer and they're so pretty. I got some all kind of bulbs and things up at the garage. My old school bell. There's my autumn blaze tree. We had this out toward the flag, this big silver maple removed last week because it was getting dangerous. Now here's my perennial. Used to be a rose garden, and the roses, they got them, all these hybrid roses now, but they just don't last very long. So I planted other things. I still got Mom's yellow rose and a couple other ones. There's my daisy patch around the new autumn blaze tree. It's going to show up too good. These are blue. They're awful pretty. See if I come in close, maybe they'll show up. They are the most beautiful blue. By the back door. Bluebirds. I had to buy him a new umbrella this year. You see, the house is right out in the sun. It's kind of hard on the mommy sitting on the egg, so we put an umbrella up for her. There's my barrel. I set it on the old pine tree that we had taken out. It's awful pretty. There's my finches. Have as high as 35 in a day. On the line, yellow ones, and the pretty house finches. Now there's those English daisies. I'll show you real close how beautiful they are. Now, I just planted these this year. The regular daisy and the English daisy. Young couple's new house going in. It's going to be real nice. They're real nice people. A young couple with 2 girls. There's my umbrella and picnic table. Paul had the idea, and you put this, you remember the old well, Diane? Well, there's the old well that had the pump on it. So we utilized that and put the treated round table on it. And then Chuck Quinn built the table and then the benches. So nice. Starting this week, there's a new house going in right in the middle of that beautiful green field up there. That's where I'd like to live. You know, off the road. But too old for that anymore. There's my climbing roses. Now, they haven't bloomed yet. We're always late on the roses here, but it'll bloom. Now, there's looking up the road at our rail fence, and our tree line is finally growing. There was one died, but the nursery's supposed to come and check it. Isn't that pretty? Asparagus plants. There's my tomatoes and beans and peppers. This is my garden I'm trying to take. In order to keep that trash house out, I got to get up close. My beans. There's my potatoes. I have to get on the back side. I can't take it too good. This is the same garden Amy and Bobby helped me to work when they stayed, but it sure is pretty. There's a better shot. I gotta pick beans tomorrow. Chart. Well, you talk beauty. I'm gonna go ahead and feed her. Here comes Samantha around. There she is. Listen at beauty. There's the blackberry and the apple trees. This tree's just loaded. Early harvest apples. These are the blackberries as big as your thumb. Thornless. There's the new sidewalk. Isn't that pretty? This is a holly tree that I found in the woods. And look how it's growing. It is just beautiful. We're hoping that it will have berries on it, being we got the other holly trees. There's my ceramic geese. I don't like them plastic ones they've got. A lady hand-painted and made these. This holly bush here I gave away to the young couple. They'll dig this up here for long. Well, next March. July the 13th, I had to put the umbrella up. The bluebirds is right out in the hot sun. They act like they know what it's for. He was just sitting there a minute ago. There it come out. He must be feeding her. I'll get a better shot later. A little bit dark. There's my wren box. They got their babies. It's 6:30 in the morning, July the 15th. It's a little dark. The wrens have their baby birds now. They're feeding them. They're so quick you can't hardly get them going in. You get near that boy, she just carries on. She just went in, maybe I can get her coming out. Boy, they're fast. There she is. Gonna hunt another bug. I'd sure like to get the babies coming off, but chances of doing that is very, very slim. I've never seen a little baby wren. This is probably going to be too dark. Here's my new drapery. These is called English Rose that I put upstairs in the bedroom. What a job. Getting them hemmed and all that. They's worth it, so all I gotta do is just wash them and hang them back up. About time. These are the same that I put upstairs, except these are a tan. I like them real well. I had to tie this one back because of the air conditioner. Decided that I would frame this, and I have it forever. Somebody will. It's the Victorian lace. I signed and I dated it on the back. Chuck Quinn framed this for me. Him and his wife Mildred. Put it on a dark brown background to show up the antique. Can't remember the name. Ecru, antique ecru color of the thread. I got it in kind of a small place, but I think it's awful pretty. It's kind of dark in the room, but you can see, I think, what the curtains look like. This little wren, this head sticking out the door. It's 92, boy, she's hot. She just stuck her head back in. This is my finch feeder. I've had as high as 25 in at one time. The yellow and then the red, the redneck house finches. They're all pretty, but I like the yellow ones better. July the 17th and 94 degrees today. Almost blueberry picking time. Those are the house benches. I don't know where the yellow ones are. What's nice about this finch feeder, the doves come along and pick up what drops on the ground. That's a male dove there. See how bright pink his chest is. They're beautiful birds. I don't know how anyone can shoot them. Well, I missed the bluebird again. And see how hot it would be with that afternoon sun. She had to come out and get a breath of air, but I got the umbrella and it helps to shade her. See, this is the second nesting. Bluebirds nest twice. They usually have 5 eggs, or here they do anyway. But she's cutting on her eggs now. But it's been awfully hot on her. Every time I come out, there's only one yellow one. I was out here watering flowers a minute ago. And there was a whole bunch of them in. These house finches don't get along too good with the yellow ones. I guess I'll have to get a bigger finch feeder. They make them with a lot more perches and holes. Maybe that'll settle it. There's only one yellow one there now, I think. Those female house finches, they're even mean to the male finches. They're buddies. There's the male house finch. He's got a lot of red on his chest. See how red he is? He's pretty. Now those, his buddies will, when he comes in, they'll fight him. I've seen this tree just decorated with yellow and red, waiting their turn at the feeder. I surely like my birds. There's my baby geese all growed up. They come in this morning. They've been gone for days. They've learned to fly. There's the daddy standing guard. The mommy and the 4 babies in the water. They're on the rest, and I just gave them corn. I don't have them on this tape when they're babies. I got them on the other tape. Big as their parents now. It was something to watch them learn to fly, but I didn't get it on film. I just couldn't, have the camera handy when I wanted it the worst. They come right to me, right to my feet to eat yet. There's a pretty picture of a daddy standing guard. Mommy's laying down. The kids is just Not paying me no mind at all. But he's getting between me and the kids. He says, let's go to the water if that's what's going to be. He's talking to him, telling him to come on. Getting him some water to drink. I'm standing right on top of him, and I want to get close up. Mommy's not paying me no mind at all. That's a baby or a mommy. I can see the babies inside once in a while, and the mommy's talking, trying to get him to come out. Look at these little tiny wren bills. Little teeny tiny guys. I don't know whether you can see them or not. I think you can quite see them, but the little tiny baby wrens. There's one of their little heads. Boy, they're tiny. Just listen at them hollering for Mom. I don't know how many she's got, but they have from 5 to 8. These are the first baby wrens I've ever got to see. I don't know where Mommy is. She's been gone a long time. The motorcycle upset the babies. They've been just carrying on. This is the longest I've ever seen Mommy gone. She must have a hard time finding bugs this morning. American flag with the moon. 6 o'clock in the morning. July the 20th. I hope this takes. This is so beautiful. Isn't that something? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Look how quick it's gone, disappearing behind the trees. Isn't that the prettiest yellow? There's a whole mess of them in a while ago, but there you go. There's only one. And bluebirds have got their babies now, so they're feeding them. Second batch. See, I'm only setting about 10, 15 feet away. They don't pay me no mind. That's the daddy bluebird sitting on the line. Now he helps to feed the young. Give him credit. He's just sitting there guarding right now. There he come with the bug, patiently waiting. Mommy's feeding, and then she'll come out, and then he'll go in. You can hear the birds talking. See, there he went, but she must have come out, and I didn't see her. They go all the way in. They must know who to feed next. I don't know. Then they carry the diapers away. I don't think the male carries the diapers though. The female does. Got a bluebird sitting on an owl. That's the daddy. Won't you turn around, old buddy, and I get your back. I'm seeing better now. Bluebirds is just about ready to hatch or fly away. Pretty good size guys now. And I can hear the babies talking to him. He's had something in his mouth all the time. I shouldn't be taking this toward the sun now. One yellow male finch. But there's at least 35 that visits here. And that's a male finch, a male house finch. July the 31st, Diane's birthday. And there's a bluebird. He's thinking about coming out, the baby. See his head's a plane. They take turnabout looking out the door. They're going to leave sometime today. I think they're getting feathers. See bluebirds. He's got his shoulders out, head and shoulders. One of them. And whether we can see it or not, the lighting's not just right for me. You duck back in. One bluebird left, and another one's up at the doorway. It's the first time I've seen baby bluebirds leave. This one here hasn't made it yet.
Get heads out before you die.
These finches don't want to share. Don't want to share. In the mornings they are thick. Then they set up in here in my new tree and wait their turn. Man, they're going to go through and all this thistle seed. They're so pretty though. Something. I try to feed the birds, and this squirrel's right there with them every morning. He's moved in on me. He leaves corn lay and eats bird seed. He was up on the bell this morning, on the post that goes up to the black bell, the school bell. Look at this morning feed for the finches. I tell you what, if they eat like this all winter, I better get ready. There's so many that they can't all eat. One sitting on top, and they're all over the place. This is August the 9th. I thought I'd take the non-stop begonias is about as pretty as they'll be. Things wasn't as nice this year for some reason, I didn't think. Everything in this flower bed comes every year, except I stuck some of Mom's orange gladolia bulbs in here. The roses weren't very pretty this year, but my English daisies are just beautiful. Let me show you that up close. Now these bloom, like I said, from early spring clear up till frost. That's what I like about them. Roses has gone the other way now. I've got about everything put in here. Now this, I'm going to get some more of these next year. It starts out with a square bloom. Never seen anything like it. They're blue, and it starts out with a square bloom and ends up with a square bud and ends up with a round bloom. I'll take a couple of these over to the cemetery for Mom. Aren't they beautiful? I planted some red and some other colors, but Mom's is the only one that's done any good, and they're old bulbs. I think they've got these bulbs so hybridized anymore that you better stick with the old ones. Now this is wild spearmint that I dug up down along the creek, and it's got a beautiful lavender bloom. You can make tea with these leaves or whatever, but they sure smell good. That was just a little sprig when I planted it. Look at it. Now that naturally will come every year there. I'm going to dig half of it up for a friend. It's something you can plant and just forget about it. See if I come in close, you can see I'm doing this at 7:30 in the morning because I like the color better in the morning. Isn't it pretty? Tomorrow would have been Danny's birthday. The new house sure is pretty. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-car garage. So neat looking. Be pretty when they get the porch spindles on. They're finishing up on it. It won't be long. The kids will be in for too long. Awfully nice couple. These yellow benches are so pretty. I'm not too satisfied with these vining geraniums I put in the barrel. Next year I'm going to put something else. But these Argentina impatiens I like. They are so pretty, and the foliage is awful pretty on them. I shouldn't complain. I've had some beautiful flowers. There's my English daisies out at our new tree. Be some nice shade someday. This is the bed I planted 2 years ago. It's just been beautiful. It's on the other way now. After all, August the 9th, it's bound to. Those daisies have bloomed ever since they started, but they're big, big old bush, and I'm not too crazy about them. I might take them out and put something smaller. I like these little blues. I like these little blue flowers here. And then the small daisy. Path up to the barn. Feed the horses. It's It's early morning. There's a red fox out in the field. See, people destroy these, and they don't realize how many mice and ground molds that they get. That's one thing Pat never does is shoot a red fox. Unless he's rabied or, mange or something like that. They're working this big field. He's working this big field out here. And these are what they call moon plants. They only bloom at night. They got a big white bloom. They're beautiful. They come every year. They bloom at night and then die in the daytime, and new bloom takes over. See, he's starting to fold already. Look like a large morning glory, and they got a nice odor to them. Real nice smell. I've got some started all over. They're called moon plants. I got these below the fence feeder. We had 2 inches of rain last night. That's nice. This is the same one I taped last year, and Pat caught in the trap. He's limping. You call him a cross fox because of the stripe down the back or something. Uh-huh. He's a pretty one. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and here's these starting to close up now. The moon plants. Some people call these lunar bloomers. But I think they're so pretty. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. Now see that one there? That was about tonight. The last 2 days, we've had 4.5 inches of rain. It is a mess. The Webbs started their basement. That's where the new house will go. That's way up in the hayfield. It's a little dark. The camera's blurring. There's my girl in full bloom. Binding geranium. This beautiful red gladiolus. Isn't that pretty? And the pale pink's just about gone. Here, Diane, I haven't baked one of these in 30 years. Cherry nut cake. Remember Mrs. Hillis? The Abrams and Mrs. Hillis would just have a fit. I hadn't baked one in a long time, and I bragged to Pat about I never had a cake to fall. This one fell a little tiny bit in the middle. Hope it don't hurt the taste of it. But that's the homemade cherry nut cake from scratch. Here it is, September the 10th, 1997. The flowers right now are the prettiest as they've been. You might know because the frost is soon to come. But just look at these. They're just beautiful. There's my red gladiolus. The gladiolus, I guess. But wouldn't you know, so pretty. There's the moon plants, but of course they're asleep now, see. They bloom at night. It's a cloudy day today, and that's why some of them still out. Finch feeder. A lot of finches. Argentina impatient. Just look at this full bloom. Now they withstand a lot of sun. If you got a flower bed dying, it's in the sun. The other impatiens just don't tolerate the sun like the Argentina impatiens do. The vining geraniums, they're at their prettiest right now in my barrel. Aren't they pretty?
About knowing?
Diane, I just wanted you to see the old woman that was taking this video film for you.
That's sure her, Diane.
Well, so Diane will know at least what her old mom looks like in her old age.
Ooh.
Okay, that's good
There's
enough.
some of her pretty flowers, Diane. She was working in the ditch yesterday. She ought to get down there now and I'll get a picture of her working in the ditch.
That's okay.
Okay,
So
Diane.
Can see. The Dunkle's new house finished. So all they got to do is plant their grass seed now. They've got some trees in. It's a beautiful light yellow with burgundy shutters. It's beautiful inside. I was over the other night. It's 3 bedrooms, walk-in closets that don't look that big, but it's a fuller. October the 22nd. The autumn blaze tree's real pretty. Everything's starting to change. This weekend will be the peak. These are pretty leaves. Some awful pretty foliage. That's Webb's new house. They hope to be in that by Christmas time. I hope they are. It's gonna have 3 fireplaces. My goodness sakes. I can't have one. Look at the pretty trees. They're not as pretty this year because they didn't get any rain. This is a real nice couple over here. They've got all their grass seeded. It would have been up if it had rained, but we haven't had any. They're a real nice young couple. We lucked out on these two. Diane, this is October 24th. Pouring rain. I'm in the camper. I'm going to put a few deer on your tape that I'm making for you. Right over here so you parked your camper that evening. Right in there. So I'll put a few deer on. Here comes 2 out the woods now. Right where your camper was. 2 smaller. Now they'll come right over here to the corn. That's a mommy and her two last year siblings. This is that little button box. He's the cutest one. See the little button? See, at the most, I'm only about 30 feet away from these deer. Corn's getting low, so they start fighting. There was 14 of them tonight, so far. It's raining pretty hard now. I won't get bucked until November, when the rutting season starts. This is October the 29th. Well, Diane, I just finished this pinwheel. Isn't it pretty? I made it for a stand upstairs, but I might put it on my coffee table for a change. It was kind of a little complicated toward that end. So I come in a little close to it. It's that pinwheel, isn't that something? Mostly singles, doubles, and trebles, and clusters. Comes out into a sand around the edging. Thought you might like to see it. The beautiful colors is about gone. The edge of the woods back at the big field. They're putting the roof on the house now, and it's going to be brick. They got most of the bricks now. What size are these turnips? I do this for fun. I plant one seed at a time. No miracle grow, just plain garden dirt. One weighs 3 pounds and 3/4, and one weighs 3 pounds and a quarter. I got some bigger ones in the garden. I'm going to let Paul pull them when he comes. Thing is, they're solid and good. Inside it is. This is my pretty red goose. I got 3 of these. One out to the pond. But I thought maybe this would show up. It's so pretty, real red. See how red the leaves are? Adds a lot of pretty color. I want to go down here and show you my holly trees. I finally got me 2. There's the first one. They've taken on a lot of growth this summer. Now, we'll see if we can see the red berries. They're coming on now. I think these holly trees are beautiful because they stay green all winter. Whether you can see the red berries or not, but they're on there. This is December the 3rd. I soon want to sand this tape, so I thought I'd do some of my outside decorations for you. There's my bluebird house. My owl. That's my bird. I'll decorate that. Got bows on either side of the covered bridge. And there's my bells. I got bows on both sides of that. Well, got bows and then the hollies and things inside. And my lamp post. Here's my bird feeder. Here's my woodpecker stump. Well, there's one on it now. If that isn't something, and I'm standing right here on top of him. Yeah, I put suet in the Pat drilled a hole and I put suet in it, so I got my woodpeckers all winter. This might not show up too good. But I put the big bows on the porch. And there's my angel. The sun's not too good for this. Anyway, it's awful pretty at night lit up. Real pretty at night lit up. It's my Santa Claus wreath. Now, Pat's got his button duck. So if I get a deer tonight, I'll put it on tape for you. And if Paul gets one, I'll put it on. We haven't got ours yet, and this is Tuesday. But I think I'll get mine tonight. Either a nice doe or a buck. I saw 3 bucks altogether back there. One was a monster this morning. Now I'll have these all winter. See, they're kind of dull now in the wintertime, but they eat constantly all day long. It's constantly. This is Pat's Christmas gift. I had a guy to build a violin cabinet for him to store his violin. I got a chair in front of it. I'm going to move it pretty soon. This holds 12. So he's still got 2 on the wall and 1 upstairs. I tell you, it's hard to get all in. It's really tall. If you can get some idea. Open the doors up so you can see them better, but it's not really doing them justice. They are just beautiful. Hung the bows on the side, on both sides. You've got all these bows hung up, which worked out just nice. And I was able to keep his fight picture when he was young. Him and the referee, and then one when he fought. I'm not decorating real heavy in the house this year. I just don't have room. But I did put the socks up for the dogs and the horses. There's Grandma and Grandpa. Bless their hearts. We had 4 altogether, Pat's 2, and here's the big button buck. Here's Paul's buck. Small antlers, Steve, but big body. I'll zoom in just a little bit. See what small antlers? But big body. And this button buck's, look size this button buck's feet. They're dandies. That's a lot of good meat, and Paul eats meat every day.
Mm-hmm.